What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the American Express Platinum credit card, and I'll be determining if the Platinum is actually worth it here in 2024. Now, when I say if the card is actually worth it, I'm actually only speaking for myself here. Is the card worth it for me? I say that because I can only speak for myself. This is different for every single person depending on your lifestyle, your spending habits, and what you currently value. And so you really have to do the evaluation yourself and do the math to determine if this card is actually worth it for you. So I'll briefly be going over each of the credits and benefits on the Platinum credit card and kind of giving you a behind the scenes look on what I think of each of those credits and benefits and if they actually bring value to me. That way you can determine if you're in the same boat. So I highly encourage you while we go through these credits and benefits to do the math yourself and see if this card actually brings value to you. Because after doing the math myself, I can safely say that the American Express Platinum is not worth it for me. And this is something I highly encourage everyone to look into because I know a lot of cards can fall into the hype train. And so people will see the card, they see the credits and benefits that come with it. They think they can get that value that everyone else is also getting because they all praise the card. But really, it comes down to your situation and what you value. So I highly encourage you to take a deep dive into this card. That way you can see if it's actually worth it for you or not. All right, so start keeping track of these credits and benefits. Let's go ahead and dive into them and see if the card is worth it. At least if it's worth it for me. Let's get into it. So the first one is going to be the $200 hotel credit. Now, this credit can only be used through American Express. You actually have to use their hotel collection or Fine Hotels and Resorts collection. And so you'll be booking through American Express. And personally, I would value this credit at the full $200 because I do think I could stay at least 1 or 2 nights using one of those programs to get that $200 back. Now, if using the FHR credit specifically, then you might be paying a little more because you are staying at a higher end hotel property. So you do have to ask yourself, would I normally be staying at that hotel or would I have stayed at a much cheaper hotel that probably would have been cheaper than what I paid for the FHR booking? Now, for myself, that could potentially be the case, but I would like to think that the difference you would get from the FHR benefits, which includes the $100 credit per stay, free breakfast, a room upgrade, late checkout, early check-in, whatever it may be, I like to think that those benefits that come with FHR would outweigh the slight difference I actually ended up paying in the FHR credit. But again, it really depends on your situation. But for me, I will value this at the full 200 bucks. All right, moving on to the next credit, we have the $240 digital entertainment credit. Now, this credit is broken up into $20 statement credits every single month, and it's very specific on what you can use it on. The most common one is going to be the Disney bundle, or at least individually, you could do, Hulu, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, that sort of thing. And for myself, I actually do have the Disney bundle. However, I have the bundle through Verizon because I have their old unlimited 5G plan, which actually included the Disney bundle in it. And they did not upgrade me to their new 5G plan, which hopefully they don't because I want to keep my Disney bundle for the same price. So as of now, I'm paying like the same price as the new 5G bundle with Verizon, but the old one comes with the Disney bundle, so I'm saving money that way. So right now, I'm not even paying extra for that Disney bundle. So as long as it stays that way, then I will not be using this credit. Because the other options that count are like Peacock and New York Times and that sort of stuff. So I don't normally pay for that, and I don't plan to pay for that. So the only option for me is the Disney bundle, which I already have. So in this case, that $240 digital entertainment credit is valued at $0. All right, next up, we have the Walmart Plus credit that comes with the Platinum card. Currently, I don't normally shop at Walmart, at least that often. I have grocery stores that are closer than Walmart to me, so I just shop there. Plus, typically the produce and stuff is usually better there anyways. Every now and again, I will go to Walmart for some specific items, such as like bathroom stuff or toiletries or paper towels, that sort of thing, because it's cheaper there compared to a grocery store. But that's pretty much it, and so I don't typically go to Walmart. Now, would I use the credit if I had it at my disposal? Probably. Because right now I do order stuff on Amazon. I'll just get delivered to the house. But for groceries, I typically will order online ahead of time for my specific grocery store. And then I can just go over to their pickup location. They'll come over and put the food into my trunk for me. And then I just drive away. Simple, that easy. And so really all it is a 5-minute drive there, 5-minute drive back, and that's it. So the only benefit I would get from Walmart Plus is that I'm not driving 5 minutes to the grocery store. Instead, it gets delivered straight to my house. Which, don't get me wrong, that is a pretty nice benefit. I don't even have to leave the house and groceries just appear at my door. That sounds great. However, I'm okay with the 5-minute drive because it's free. So without the Platinum card, I'm not going to be paying for that Walmart Plus subscription. So I'm going to value this at $0 because I normally wouldn't be paying for it. However, I would say I would try it out. I'd get some use for it, start having stuff delivered to my house, just to see how it works and see if it's actually worth it. Would I end up loving it and keeping it afterwards? I don't know. Something I have to find out in the future. But for now, because I don't use it, I'm going to value this as $0. Next up is the $200 Uber cash benefit. This is actually broken up into $15 increments every single month and then 20 in December. So would I use this? Probably. I do have the Amex Gold card, which has pretty much the exact same benefit, just a little bit less money. And I do use that credit on the Gold card for Uber Eats. Typically, I will eat out every now and again, and so I'll just hop on the Uber Eats app. I'll do a pickup order instead of delivery, so I can pay less fees, and then I'll just go pick up the food I was going to pay for anyways. But if I want to value it at the full $200, then I will have to pick and choose what I eat on Uber Eats, because there's only a few selective restaurants that actually have the same price on Uber Eats compared to the actual restaurant price. Most restaurant prices on Uber Eats are inflated in pricing, so you have to be very specific on where you're going to be ordering from, because only a few locations will actually have the same price as in-store at the restaurant. There are a few that I know of around me that are the same price, so I would just try and order from them only, and that way I can value this at the full $200. All right, so next up we now have the $200 Airline Incidental credit, and if I'm being completely honest, I probably would not value this at the full $200. The reason I say that is because both my wife and I have gotten pretty good about using carry-on bags. We don't really have to pay for a checked bag. If anything, we'd be paying for maybe seats to sit next to each other. But even then, the middle seat is typically free, and sometimes the aisle seat might be free depending how far back you are. Otherwise, I would just spend, 20 to 30 bucks to pay for an aisle seat, and that's it. And the other catch to this credit is that you have to choose a specific airline to use it on. And so I know you can change it every now and again. I think it's like once every year. So I would for sure be able to use it at least one time. But if I'm being honest, I'm not airline loyal. Whatever airline has the best route or the cheapest route or whatever is best for our specific needs, that's what we're going to fly on. So if I fly on American Airlines, I can use that incidental fee credit, but then my next flight is on United and I can't change it, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. However, there is a workaround for this credit, which is the United Travel Bank. I currently do not live in a United hub, but I would like to think I could probably use the full 200 bucks within the United Travel Bank. So if I'm being conservative, as in I want to apply for the card, then I suppose I can go ahead and value this at the full $200, as long as I can make sure I can use my $200 in the United Travel Bank. All right, so we're up to $600 in credits. What else can we use? Well, next up is going to be the Saks Fifth Avenue credit. You get $50 every half year, so twice annually. Now, do I currently shop at Saks Fifth? Nope. Could I find something to buy at Saks Fifth for at least 50 bucks? Maybe, but it is a premium brand, so they're kind of expensive. And so people will say like, oh, just buy something cheap like socks. Well, I can go to Walmart or Target and buy socks for like $10 compared to the 30 or 40 bucks at Saks Fifth. So in reality, I'm only saving like $10 compared to the $50 credit. So I'm just going to value this at $0 because I don't currently shop at Saks Fifth Avenue. And even though I did in the future, it'd probably be for random stuff, things I don't need, things that are overpriced, whatever it is, I'm probably not going to value it. So we're just going to say $0. Moving on to the next credit, we have the $189 Clear Plus credit. Currently, I do not have Clear, and I'm honestly okay with just having like TSA PreCheck and Global Entry. I don't think I need Clear, especially at my airport, because we do have Clear here, but I haven't noticed the lines being that long for security, so I don't think I really need it. Now, similar to the Walmart Plus credit, if I had it for free because it's on the Platinum card, would I use it? Probably. But even then, there's still another downside because I travel with my wife, and this is only one Clear credit, so I would have it, my wife would not. So then I would just be leaving her in the dust, which I'm not going to do because I don't have a bad vacation, so this credit is pretty much worthless to me, which means it's valued at $0. And for the last credit, we now have the $300 Equinox credit. Okay, so now that we've gone through all the credits, we are at $600 in value, but the annual fee on the Platinum is $695. Well, there is still one pretty big benefit that comes with this card that is sometimes the main reason people get it, and that is the lounge access that comes with it. So the Platinum gives you all of the goods, including the Centurion Lounge, Escape Lounge, Plaza Premium, and Priority Pass being the main ones, which for lounge access is pretty darn good. However, I do already have the Venture X, so Plaza Premium and Priority Pass is already covered. That leaves the Centurion Lounge and the Escape Lounge, and I will say my home airport does have one of each of those lounges, so you would think I'll get some use out of the lounge access there then, right? Well, the Platinum does not have guest privileges, so I travel with my wife, she would not be included, and so I'd have to pay for her to get in. If If I didn't want to pay for her to get in, I would have to make her an authorized user, which is basically another $200 as an authorized user fee. And so now instead of having to make up just $100 in difference with lounge access, I now have to make up $300 because my annual fee just jumped from $700 to basically $900. If we traveled all the time, then that would maybe be worth it, but we don't travel that often to make it worth $300. Not only that, but I will be getting the Ritz-Carlton card here shortly, and the Sapphire Lounge at my home airport will also be opening shortly, and so I will get myself in as well as her included into that Sapphire Lounge, which kind of makes the Centurion Escape Lounge not worthless, but not as valuable. Then when it comes to the insurance and travel protections, the purchase protections, all that stuff that comes with the American Express Platinum, well, it also comes with the Capital One Venture X, and it also comes with the Chase Ritz-Carlton card. So I already have those covered, which means the American Express Platinum is not worth it for me. I know it's devastating. Everyone talks about the Platinum, the Big Daddy Platinum. Everyone loves it. They get those Centurion Lounge visits. The new one in Atlanta looks awesome, but I just can't get myself to pay the $700 every single year for these benefits that don't even make up that annual fee. So does that mean I'm not going to be applying for the American Express Platinum as I don't currently have it? Well, there's two other things to account for. The biggest one being the sign-up bonus on this card. It is massive. There's a new 175,000 point sign-up bonus floating around after you spend $8,000 in the first 6 months. And for most credit cards that have a sign-up bonus, the first year is pretty much always going to be worth it. And in this case, that is no different. For $700, you're going to be getting 175,000 MR points, and that is easily worth that price. You can basically think of it as an investment where you're putting $700 down up front, and in return, you'll at least be doubling that money, but likely more. The other reason is I just want to try this card out and add it to my collection, which I know that kind of sounds stupid and credit card nerdy, which it is, but at the same time, I would like to get some experience with the card eventually, and also just, like I said, add it to my collection, because even if I cancel or downgrade the card in the future, I get to keep the physical copy. But for real, the sign-up bonus on the card is absolutely ridiculous, so even though the card doesn't make sense for me to hold on to long term, the sign-up bonus alone makes the card worth it. So eventually I will be signing up for the Amex Platinum. I'll get that nice sign-up bonus, and then I'll try and use as many credits as I possibly can to offset the fee. And then after 12 months, I'll probably just downgrade or cancel the card. So as you can see, for me, the Platinum is not worth it, besides year one, of course. But at the same time, I don't want to downplay the card, because for the right person, it makes a lot of sense. And so if you can fork up that $695 annual fee every single year, but then use those credits efficiently, as in you're already spending in that same category anyways, you're already paying for some digital entertainment, you would use the $200 FHR credit, you would use the $200 Uber Eats credit, you're already using all that stuff anyways, then this card can make a lot of sense. So I don't want to completely knock it. You just got to do the math yourself. And I'm not an Amex hater, because I do have the Amex Gold card, and I actually love the Amex Gold card. I actually made a video on the Gold card and how I can get over $300 in value from one credit alone. So be sure to check out that video here. And even before I knew about the hack to get some insane value on the Gold card, I actually made a video justifying the card anyways without the hack. So check out that video here. Same thing there though. You do have to make sure that the card is worth it for you by doing the math yourself and determining what you currently value and spend on now. So just keep that in mind, just like the Platinum. Otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.